All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor to
YAHAWAH,
bahasham,
YAHAWASHI,
bahasham,
bahasham.
Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and Shalom to the men of the Lord that are prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways with the brothers from Great Millstone, Kansas City. I'm the brother YAHAWAH, and YAHAWAH.
Khan, Taziar Banyamin, Bahasham, Yahawashai, bracket thumb to the hopeful elect. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom, brother. We want to say, we're just going to go through the spirit a little bit based on the book of Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter. The Lord willing is edifying.
Okay. Because the importance of this precept, the main point is being that, the ministry can be not blamed. Because this thing that we involved in is not a matter of us. It's not a matter of any individual. The most important member, the most important name of this ministry is YAHAWASHI. Yeah. So what we can't afford to do is to put a stain on that name in any way. You see, because the scripture Most High say he had not appointed anyone to wrath. So, we're not supposed to be out here doing mad, wicked actions, even acting emotionally in certain situations that could put the ministry at fault. And we have to consider that in everything that we do. It's not just how is this going to affect me, but how is this going to affect, brothers in my camp and brothers in general. Mm-hmm. You see? And that's what Paul goes into in this.
Kind of quick precept before that.
Go ahead, yeah.
This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 6. It says, "Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of the Most High, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour."
And that's right, because Satan, he want nothing else but for you to get out of pocket. Satan want nothing more than you to act out of character. Mm-hmm. You see? But it's us through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI to maintain our level-headed mind, to obtain our wisdom first thinking. See? Wisdom first thinking. Before you do anything, any move. See? You got more? Yeah,
that was it on that one. Yeah. Go to the main point. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 6. I'll start at verse 1. It says, "We then, as workers together with him, beseech you also that ye give not the grace of the Most High in vain."
Say verse 1. Say, use not the grace of the Most High in vain. Because now this is a grace period in between the covenants to get our souls right through belief in YAHAWASHI. So we're not using this time to be fucking off. We're not using this time to be wicked niggas in the world as some 2/3 are doing right now. This period in time between YAHAWASHI's departure and YAHAWASHI's arrival is the grace period for the nation of Israel to get their shit right. And we can speak on personal testimony. The Most High is not playing with nobody, man. Nobody, not even us. So we can't use this time in vain.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse 2, it says, "For he saith, I have heard thee in a time accepted, and in the day of salvation I have succored thee. Behold, now is the accepted time. Mm-hmm. Behold, now is the day of salvation. Mm-hmm. Giving no offense in anything, mm-hmm. that the ministry be not blamed."
Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. Because didn't YAHAWASHI command us to be wise as serpents, harmless as doves? Mm-hmm. And then in that book of James, it says true religion is to visit the fatherless and to leave himself unspotted from the world.
Yeah.
You see? So, yeah, when you in that type of position, you basically sticking your head out to get uppercutted, right jab, right hook. All you say go try to beat you the fuck up to get you to act out of character, man. Yeah. But through YAHAWASHI, we maintain that patience.
That's and I was gonna say, in the days that we're living in now, you got to remember that what gives offense today is not what gave offense 15, 20 years ago. So even the things that we say now, the scriptures say give no offense. That means we got to adapt to pronouns and shit at work. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like yeah, 30 years ago you could have said something. You could have used the F word, you know, not the word fuck, but you know.
Yeah, burning pile of sticks.
Yeah, see, 30 years ago that wouldn't have been an offense to people, but now it is, man. And the scriptures said we got to adapt accordingly, man. Like, yeah, we say the words amongst brothers and shit like that, but at the same time, we got to realize this world is waxing worse and worse, and it's more and more sensitive.
Yeah.
And that's set up by the Lord. That's why the Lord calls this place the virgin daughter, because there's a lot of sensitive people around here. There's people that's going to drop dead just from not having Instagram when it's all said and done.
God.
You know, so we got to adapt. When the scriptures say give no offense, that means the things that we used to be able to say, you know, 20 years ago, we may have to, if you're at work, you know, and it's not circumspect, you may have to adapt your speech. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because ultimately we're here to we're on a mission. We can't be doing shit that's going to draw attention to ourselves, going to blow our cover, that's going to, you know, single us out for any reason. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Give no offense.
Because knowing prophecy, we know persecution is coming. So using wisdom, you don't need to add to more enemies than what you already gonna have, man.
Yeah.
we gonna make enemies just for calling up on your name, YAHAWASHI alone. But if you going out here being an asshole, being completely uncircumspect, hey, you just added more and more offenses, more and more heat.
And it's not worth it anyway, because the Lord gonna destroy this place, man. Like I had a person I used to work with, you know, she is now a he. Chopped the titties off. I'm at work. I'm like, oh, okay, congratulations. You know, I ain't gonna make. You know what the fuck I would say?
Right.
The Lord gonna roast these niggas anyway, man.
Right.
Ain't no sense in me going wilding the fuck out at work. You know, bringing out precepts in the middle of a meeting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's okay to feel it. It's righteous to feel that way, but how we feel and what we do in the world are two different things, man. We got to remember that we're representing a body. Mm-hmm. You know.
Go ahead, man. Doc.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 3, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed.
Okay, now Paul made that point. Now what he's about to do, he's about to go through a list of all these type of situations where we can't let the ministry be blamed for our actions. Go ahead.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 4. It says, but in all things, approving ourselves as the ministers of the Most High.
Ooh, in all things, proving yourself as a minister of YAHAWASHI. So what does that mean? When you on the streets with the garments on, you proving yourself as a minister for YAHAWASHI. Mm-hmm. When you at your work, when you at your job, doing whatever type of job you do, you still have to prove yourself as a minister of YAHAWASHI. That don't mean you got to bring out precepts, but it's about your conduct.
Right.
When you at the bar drinking, three shots in, trying to get on the females, you still gotta prove yourself as a minister to YAHAWASHI.
Yeah, kind.
You know, even in the moments where you don't think nobody's watching, you still have to prove yourself as a minister for YAHAWASHI.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Art.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 4 again. It says, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of the Most High, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses.
In much patience. You know what I'm saying? Things people you want to react on, things you want to do. That's patience. In your patience possess ye your souls.
That's right.
By us not reacting, by us keeping a calm spirit and waiting for the Lord to avenge our enemies, we're proving ourselves as ministers.
That's right.
What it say? In patience?
And it says, in much patience and afflictions.
In afflictions, when you down and bad, hurting, hungry, broke. You know, some brothers be burning you in no coochie in whatever amount of time. Hey, you still got to prove yourself, man. Go ahead.
Yep. In necessities, in distresses, in stripes, in imprisonments.
Hey, that's when it get real. Stripes and imprisonment. That's when motherfuckers is putting you in cuffs. Motherfuckers bringing you to jail for the name of YAHAWASHI, for doing the right things, for being a man of wisdom. You see, the more and more the list go on, it get more severe. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, in labors, and watchings, and fastings,
Yep.
by pureness, by knowledge, by long suffering, by kindness, by the Holy Spirit, by love unfeigned, by the word of truth, by the power of the Most High, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left.
And these are all things that you learn the more you go into the truth, man. The more time you spend, help building this temple, the more time you should be using the fruit of the Spirit. And let's go into that, man. Because that is how you prove yourself of being a minister for YAHAWASHI is exemplifying the fruit of the Spirit.
Okay.
If you got something to say, I'll go ahead while I get it.
Nah, man, that's very, very true, man. The scriptures speak about us knowing, trying the Spirit by the Spirit, So there's going to be characteristics, there's going to be traits that the elect are going to show, man. You got to ask yourself, are you exhibiting those traits, man? Are you patient? It's a constant examination, man. If you're starting to lose patience, if things are starting to get under your skin more than usual, man, it's time to pray. It's time to fast. It's better than that shit building up and then you blowing the fuck up on some situation and now Esau got your ass, man.
Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith. Now, the first three, love, joy, and peace, you don't find that in the world.
Yeah.
Love, joy, and peace you find amongst the brotherhood and doing the work of the Lord. So if you notice yourself being out of balance with the Spirit, tap in.
Yeah.
If you notice yourself being more bitter, more angry than what you usually are, tap in with the Spirit to experience love, joy, peace, patience, or say love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance, which is that goes into having a tolerance. It says, against such things there is no law, and they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit.
Right. When it says crucify the flesh, that basically means the shit that you feel, the pain that you feel, not wanting to get up in the morning, the pain that you feel, having to call this brother, do this, and that. You basically gave that up, man. You say, it don't matter how I feel anymore. And the alternative is to dwell in the Spirit, man.
Yep. Go ahead, I'm in Corinthians.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6. Start at verse 7. It says, by the word of truth, by the power of the Most High, by the armor of righteousness on the right hand and on the left.
And on the left.
Because
it's gonna be left hand shit that come with you. It's gonna be left hand shit that come at you.
Yeah. Or even was it Paul or Peter? He sicked the demon on somebody.
Put him on,
in Acts.
He said he gave him up unto Satan.
Yeah, So he tapped in. He's a righteous man that tapped in on the left hand side, man.
Right.
Because we're when you understand the hierarchy, man, that's the Lord said us. We special, man. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, bro.
Them curses is real, man. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be smart where you use the curses, man. Sometimes you might put a curse on the jaw and you might go back on her. It might fall up on you, but you gotta just be wise in all things. But that ain't the point. Go ahead.
Verse 8, it says, by honor and dishonor, by evil report and good report.
Evil report and good report.
As deceivers and yet true.
You see, now hold on. Deceivers and yet true. Just as the brother was speaking in the world, he's saying, his co-worker turned from a she to a he. He being a deceiver by saying, oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When they be having these holiday parties or, you celebrate somebody's birthday party at work, you like, hey, congrats on doing that. Knowing you don't celebrate that shit.
Yeah.
Knowing you against everything that these people go along with.
Yeah.
But he
checked out.
But you're doing that to maintain your image and being blameless by not bringing more heat. Because if you say, you know what, you tell your boss, fuck you, Edomite, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. he gonna look into you. He gonna look into you.
Yeah.
Now he gonna be like, okay, this person on this and that, and now the ministry getting blamed.
And ultimately, like, it does no good anyway, man. It's like you gotta. We're in captivity. The Lord put us here. That's the first thing you gotta understand. And we have to go to our enemies for the want of all things. So you might as well ease the burden of yourself at work, man. Even if that's just a congratulation. I don't give a fuck about these people, man.
Yeah.
I'll put up curses on them when I go home.
Yeah.
I condemn them every Saturday.
Yeah.
You know? But the Lord got us in this position. What did Paul do in the matter of Agrippa, man?
He said, I wish you were Israel.
He's like, I wish, hey, look, I don't want to smoke with nobody, man. Basically, he was trying to paint the picture like, look, all of y'all cool with me, but really, he was at risk of being put to death. He understood the situation that he was in, and he moved accordingly, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Abraham did the same thing, man. He deceived that Hamite that tried to pop his wife. He said it was his sister or something like that.
Yeah.
He used righteous deception, man.
Yep.
Our forefather Jacob did the same thing to get the blessing, to make sure Esau didn't steal the blessing.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. King David acted like he was retarded the whole time.
Yeah.
If you go into it.
Right. So it's like this thing is larger than that. Y'all gotta think bigger than that, man.
Yeah.
You know? Because ultimately, man, we have to be spotless and blameless, man. We can't be giving the world reason to castigate us, man. They already want to do that. You know?
Okay. Is there any more on that? Once you stop going into the list, you can just...
Yeah. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9. It says, unknown and yet well known, as dying, and behold, we live, as chastened and not killed.
Uh-oh. That's big. Dying and yet we live. See what I'm saying? Because when you come into this truth, your main priority is the work of YAHAWASHI.
Mm-hmm.
You may know people in the world. You know, you look from the outside in. You say, okay, these people doing all these things. They have families. They get in houses. They get money. Whatever, yada yada yada. And you look at yourself and be like, I mean, what really have I done? I put my work into the Lord. YAHAWASHI.
Yeah.
So to the world, we're dying. To the world, they consider us wasting time because we're not doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But Paul said, but yet we live.
Right.
But yet we live because we're storing up our treasures in heaven. We're investing into a mortal life over temporary life of the world.
Kind.
Yeah.
Verse 10, it says, as sorrowful, yet always rejoicing, as poor, yet making many rich.
Read that part again.
It says, as sorrowful, yet always rejoicing.
Why are we sorrowful? Because the wicked is in power, man. Because all the type of bullshit we got to put up with. We don't have to go down the list because this brother know, I know, you brothers and sisters watching know how sorrowful this place makes you. But it says ever rejoicing. Why? Because we have the understanding and we know that the escape route is coming soon. The end is prophesied.
That's right, man. That's right.
You can't like question, is this thing really going to end? If you read the scriptures, it guarantees the end, man.
Right.
Read that again.
It says, verse 10, as sorrowful, yet always rejoicing.
Rejoicing. I'll never forget this, and I say this a lot, man. Apostle Tahar said there should be no depressed Israelites, man. And this was at a time where I was in that low point. But when he said it, I was like, you know what? He right, man.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be no depressed Israelites, man. We about to get the victory through the Spirit,
That's right.
man.
That's right, brother.
Go ahead.
It says, as poor, yet making many rich.
Right.
As having nothing, and yet possessing all things.
Speak on it.
So it's like, yeah, even though we're in a situation, bro, we don't own shit, man. I ain't got shit in my 401k. I ain't got no investments. I ain't got no stocks, you know. But as long as I'm on the right track, man, I'm still rich. Why? Because that richness comes in the future to come, man. We understand that the destruction of this world is at hand, and that's basically what we're here to preach. You know, a real rich man, he's ahead of the curve. He's not looking at the market as it is today. He can see a future version of the market, and that's how these guys become billionaires. They know what stocks to move into, this and that. See, we got the truth, man. It's not by my own wisdom. The Lord put me on this, man. And Lord willing, I stay on it. You know? That's what I got. And so I invested into that, and then that's going on to the next kingdom, man. You know? Despite what I may have in my bank account, despite how people might look at me in this society, you know, I'm a so-called low-level guy in this society, but you know, ultimately, man, if we can continue to do the right thing, bro, we're rich, man. You're not even going to be able to put on a balance sheet the amount of riches that's going to be in the kingdom of heaven at all. You know? But I'm going to finish reading this here. It says, verse 11, it says, O ye Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you, our heart is enlarged. Ye are not straitened in us, but ye are straitened in your own bowels. Now for a recompense in the same, I speak as unto my children, be ye also enlarged, but be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness?
Yeah,
you know,
and that's what it is, man. Because when you have that separation, and I spoke on this in a lesson I did this morning, when you have those boundaries when it comes to people in the world, you know, women you like, jobs, you know, whatever shit you like to do outside of the truth, when you have a boundary on that, you focus more towards being that minister. You focus more towards exemplifying the fruits in the spirit. When you're giving too much real estate in the things in the world and you're unequally yoked, let's say unequally yoked. But at the end of the day, we gotta what they say, you gotta use the world but not abuse the world.
Right.
When you're abusing the world and the world is abusing you and you keep feeding into it, you're not being a minister of YAHAWASHI. Because Paul said through YAHAWASHI we are conquerors. We think 10 steps ahead of this world.
Yeah.
We don't think like the world, we think ahead of the world, man.
Yeah.
That's why bro said we in the spirit now. We doing lessons now. We call ourselves Israelites now. We calling on YAHAWASHI now, man.
Yeah.
Because the Lord granted us through the spirit and power YAHAWASHI the heads up on all this, man.
Right, because we see the value of the future kingdom, man.
Yeah.
If you knew the stock of Amazon was $1 today, but in the future it's gonna be 1,000, man, you'd be buying it right now, man. You're not fucking waiting, man. That's what we doing, man. Sure. We're hoping that the Lord is going to have the mercy on us of our investment now to be reaping to the kingdom, man. You know, yeah. That's basically what this whole thing is all about, man. You know.
Hey, with that, Lord willing, this edifying. All praise, honor, and glory it goes to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Rakar. Double honors to the apostles, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, break a thumb to the full leg. Shalom, shalom,
shalom.